Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, Halloween. Hello, hello. Hello, Kamari. Hello, Payne. Hello, Pickles. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Kamari. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Payne. Pickles. Hello. How are you wonderful people doing? Good morning. Yeah, it's time for me to do my hair over. Yes. It's getting it is what it is. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, gracias. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Hello, Daisy Lee. Hello, hello, hello. My Monday is going great. How is everybody else's Monday going?
Oh, this is good. This is good. Ah! Hello, my friend. It's Perez, the queen of all media.
Okay, we got some news, 3 minutes. I'm going to save this. Hello, Snowdrop. I got my shirt on again. Hello, Polo. Hello to you too, Polo. Happy Monday. Hope everything is going well. Okay, guys. Put a one in the chat if you know who Chris Cuomo is. No, it's not. Oh. Okay, so they used to be like this. Cuomo and Don Lemon, they used to be best friends, really close friends. They was on CNN together. I look like Trina. I don't know who Trina is. Hello, Terry. Well, according to HE2,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. Please go ahead and hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button
a
and hit that
little
notification
busy.
bell and press all so you get all notifications. Now, my last video about Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon, you guys were very shocked that Chris Cuomo was coming after Don. For those of you still under that facade that they're still friends after CNN, that definitely was killed because, yeah, Chris Cuomo, he keeps coming after Don Lemon. And you know, after his recent arrest, he was going to have something to say. So let's go ahead and get into this video because Chris Cuomo says it's hard for him to defend bad behavior. What is he talking about?
Yeah, what is he talking
Let's
about?
get to it, y'all.
What is he talking about? Bad behavior. Chris Cuomo. See, I used to be a Cuomo supporter. Now you're making me look at you side-eye, Cuomo. That you don't condone bad behavior. Don Lemon didn't do anything bad. Yeah, Polo has some nice Polo porch activity going on. Are you going live today, Polo? Don't forget to check out Polo Porch. It's interesting, fun, and exciting, and you're definitely going to get a laugh and a giggle. And you might even find Miami Mary Lou. It's Cuomo. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, it's Cuomo. That's how you spell it? Thank you, Mary Taylor. Okay. I added his first name to Miami Mary Lou. All right, let's see what's going on with Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon. What happened to their guy relationship? He said he shouldn't have. He's done some bad behavior.
So here we go, you guys.
Don Lemon arrested on federal charges. Not words I wanted to say. Not words I'm surprised to be saying. They went the cheap route fast, signing their own.
Hold on.
Not words I wanted to say. Not words I'm surprised to be saying. They went the cheap route fast, signing their own complaint and trying to get a judge who said no. They appealed. They said no. They then went to a grand jury. They got probable cause. Yeah, you can indict a ham sandwich. There's a legal analysis here. There's a journalism analysis here, and there's a personal analysis. Look, I do not want to have to be defending
IG5.
what Don was doing or how he did it. But first of all, what the president put out, the White House put out, when life gives you lemons,
Good to see you.
you just made
Gabe.
a lot of lemonade for Don Lemon. You made him a martyr. You increased his following. You made him the face of resistance to you. And you made him a lot of money. Know that.
Yep.
Now, you can think that's good or bad, but
Why would that be bad?
that is part of the net effect. Legally, I don't see how they make the case unless you prosecute Don Lemon as a protester or a rioter or as a participant. And he says that he was there doing reporting.
That's what he was
therefore,
doing.
he was not a participant. Now, they're going to argue that. Charging him with the Ku Klux Klan.
I'm doing great, Gabe. How are you?
Irony of ironies. A black gay man in the media, you're charging under the Ku Klux Klan Act.
And by the way, I think this is why they changed it to, or they're trying to use the FACE Act, because the Ku Klux Klan Act was specifically about the president being able to send the National Guard after the Ku Klux Klan for going into the black community and trying to, I can't say the words because
I don't know what's wrong with the video.
the algorithm, but yeah.
Looking for 40 years. Legally,
You do 40 years.
did that protest or whatever you want to call it go too far? Yeah, I think you can say that.
No, it didn't go too far.
Is this charge going to stand?
No.
I don't think so. Now, is there more to be said? Yes, and I will. But let's start there. Don Lemon, working as a journalist when he was with that protest or whatever you want to call it, that went into the church.
Hi,
Look,
dictator.
To a certain extent, you tell me, because this is very
Yeah, I
subjective.
do.
What is a journalist? When is someone working as a journalist? How does it matter if they're an independent journalist or a citizen journalist? Nick Shirley, Megyn Kelly, David Pakman. I mean, all these different people, independent, Michael Schellenberger, Mike Taibbi. When is it a journalist? When is it not? Is it about how you're doing it? Is it about whether or not you're working for a
You're
legitimate
jealous.
place?
I think he's jealous.
How can you judge it by his actions? He says he was there as a reporter. He's been in journalism for a very, very long time. He's been in TV for a very long time. The fact that he's not working for a place, that he's on his own, does that mean he can't be a journalist? I don't think that's the right answer.
Well,
So then what do you look at? Is how he did it? Yeah. Was he part?
So real quick, this is already getting shady because he's comparing Don Lemon to Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley was the guy who was going to those Somali daycares and claiming that they were doing fraud and all this other stuff, right? He was purposely going there to antagonize. Don Lemon is literally covering the news. He's covering the protests. Like, that's what he was doing. Two different things. He wasn't necessarily trying to incite or create the chaos. With Nick Shirley, he's doing everything himself. And Nick Shirley is not a journalist. Don Lemon has a record. So he knows that Don Lemon is a journalist. Stop playing in his face.
Of it? Did he help organize it? Was he hanging out with people before it? Was he acting like he wanted to participate? Was he saying things in a way and doing things in a way that are suggestive that he wanted to motivate the trespass? What did you pick up when he was having a conversation? Was he asking questions? Was he interviewing? Was he berating? These are very subjective arguments. We don't have a straight test like going to law school and having a legal license, an accounting license. We don't have something like that for journalism. And now with digital media, it's a really open question. I could easily argue that Nick Shirley's not a journalist. You don't knock on doors, make suppositions, line it up with data that correlates but doesn't give you causation on there being fraud. And there's a reason that you haven't heard anything from the federal side, and the states found something very different than he did. So does that mean he's not a journalist?
Causation.
I mean, this is a tricky question, and here's why it matters. If they don't treat Don Lemon as a journalist, and that stands, then the case gets much easier to make. I still don't think it's a slam dunk. But if he is a journalist, and you are able to punish this, then what message does that send? The frustration here is defending things you don't agree with because there should be the freedom to say those things. That's the First Amendment argument that Don is making. Now, does that hold as a right of him there as a citizen? Probably not, because of the FACE Act, because of where they were and the time, place, and manner of their actions. But as a journalist,
this is a bunch
is it
of
in the Constitution?
BS.
Well, we have the First Amendment, but it's never really spelled it out.
And I believe that you're just a little bit jealous of Don Lemon's new fame. Cuomo, that's what I believe that is going on. Hello, Diane. Hello, Cece. I didn't see it, Mama. Sorry, Miami Mary Lou.
This has always been a little bit of a dicey proposition, hence the Pentagon Papers, hence this tension of when journalists should have to give up sources. Of course, we say never. So I don't want to defend the actions because I don't like the actions. And you have to know this, okay? Legally, I don't know how they make the case because under the FACE Act, you have to show intent to threaten, to use force, to intimidate, to impede people from leaving. I don't know how they show that Don Lemon did any of that. But are we in the position now of having to defend bad behavior? Yeah. Why? Why do you think you didn't see CNN or ABC or Politico or any of those other people doing that? Standards and practices, ethics. If I called my boss and was like, okay, look, I'm with these people, they're going in, he would have said, well, you're not going in. Why? Because it's illegal to go in. Don't go in. Talk to them about why they're going in, whether they...
Cuomo, go get a new defense, okay? This is Cuomo. I thought it was Cuomo. Is it COMO, Miami? Let me look it up. Chris Cuomo. Yeah, you're right. Cuomo is just upset because he didn't get his page isn't taking off and his story isn't going anywhere and all this other stuff. And d.
They understand the risks and then talk to people when they come out.
Here's the part where he's getting it conflated because as media, they do film crimes. Like there are news reporters there. January 6th would be a perfect example of that. The media was there, right? Recording and filming everything. So should they have turned off their camera at that time? It doesn't make any sense.
There's a reason. If he were still at CNN, would he have done this? No, there's a reason you've never seen someone operating as a journalist doing this before. And it's not a novel question. We haven't seen this specifically, but, you know, oh, these kids are doing drugs. We're going to get them on camera.
Michael.
Why? Ethics, standards, and practices. What do we participate in? It's a real thing.
Thank you, Miami.
Now, there's the next question of what it means.
I like their connection.
What is the best reason to make a case like this? The best reason is to send a message that you cannot go into places of worship and do this and intimidate and interrupt services.
Intimidate and
you can't do it.
Services.
And they weren't invited in, and it wasn't a conversation.
Number one, he didn't need to be invited in. It's a public place. Number two, he wasn't in the way or doing anything nefarious at the time of reporting on it.
Worship and do this and intimidate.
He wasn't intimidating.
And interrupt services. You can't do it. And they weren't invited in, and it wasn't a conversation. It was a scold. It was a dress down, and it was aggressive. And if you,
I don't like him using that word aggressive because it's not like they came in there and put their hands on anybody. When is a protest ever quiet? You know what I mean? A protest is never quiet. A protest is supposed to be loud. They are supposed to make noise. No one was hurt or injured. They came in, protested, and they walked out. And mind you, the people in the church and even the pastor was doing interviews with Don Lemon. They were doing interviews. So they weren't too flabbergasted about what happened. And again, they don't care about the whole Christian thing. Oh, you're going into church. They don't care about that. This is specifically because they didn't like that ICE director was called out. The ICE field director was called out. And mind you, ICE has not confirmed whether or not that guy works for them. At this point, obviously he does, because easily they could say, no, he doesn't work for us. You guys got it misconstrued. Like, you guys got the wrong person. But the fact that there hasn't been no yes or no to it is mind-boggling, because it's all like, that's something that you can easily clear up. Obviously, he works for them. But not only that, it's the fact that he's trying to say bad behavior. People protesting basically state-funded terrorism is not bad behavior. Let's be honest about that. It's not like every Sunday they're going to go protest. That was a moment where they found out where the guy was, and boom, that's it. Now, you can say the FACE Act and all that stuff, but that would be towards the protesters and the organizers. Don Lemon was there covering it. So at the end of the day, it's not any bad behavior on Don Lemon's part. He was doing his job on the field, in the street journalism, which Chris Cuomo does not do. That's why he joined News Nation, because he doesn't want to do the hard work. And honestly, to tell you the truth, nobody watches his channel. The only reason why y'all care about it is because I'm talking about it right now.
Don't make the case, then it's going to happen more and more. You're going to have journalists running in and out of mosques and synagogues. I believe that the risk of that, while a possibility, I guess, is much less of a probability than the precedent being set that Trump can punish journalists he doesn't like. Now, is this a little special in terms of the circumstances and the risks that Don Lemon took? Yes, but as a precedent, how do I know that they don't extend this? And if the president is allowed to do this and they make some flimsy ass case under the law or change what a journalist is, well, then who's next? Who's next?
You.
What if I do something in a way that they don't like? How do you know that that principle doesn't get extended? That's really important to look at here also. Too many people are stuck in the you like Don Lemon, you don't like Don Lemon. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It matters more when you defend principles and freedoms in instances where you don't like their exercise and application, because that's when you know it's a really durable right. It's a really durable freedom, that even when we hate what is happening, and with good reason, if it's a right, it's a right. If it's a freedom, it's a freedom. And freedom of the press and freedom of speech is very, very important. That takes us into Well, who is a journalist and who is not? And that has to be considered here as well, because it's going to be fundamental to the case. And here is the last point, which is the personal part, which I'm sure all of you guys are going to want the most, and the most people will pass it around. I don't want to have to defend Don Lemon. I don't want him to have anything bad come his way. And yeah, we used to be close. Now we're not. And there's good reason for that. But it doesn't change my disposition. Two reasons. One, I try very hard not to be like what.
Real quick, I just want to clarify something. There's no bad blood on Don Lemon's end. It's literally this man right here who has the issue. Don't forget, Chris Cuomo put Don Lemon in his lawsuit, not as a defendant, but mentioned him in the lawsuit. So he's been throwing digs at Don Lemon this whole time since he was fired for giving information to his creepy brother, Andrew Cuomo.
I oppose, what I am against, or what I didn't like when it was done to me. So I try to treat people better than they treat me. Second, I don't want to see bad things happen to people. And this is a bad thing. It may make him money, may make him a martyr. At the end of the day, it may wind up exploding his relevance and his resonance, thanks to President Trump, ironic. But it's scary having the federal government come after you.
Yeah, it
Even
is.
with
It is scary to have the federal government coming after you. It's really intimidation. It's just really something to see, when the federal government is coming after you. Not that I would know personally, but the mere fact that, all this was going on with Don Lemon was a really big situation. And for Chris Cuomo to almost pick the side of those that picked him up is kind of strange. Number one, they used to be friends. Number two, or colleagues, whatever you want to call them. Number two, he's trying to find ways that they can figure out how they can charge Don Lemon with the FACE Act and the KKK Act. The KKK Act just sounds so stupid because of the color of Don Lemon's skin. How could he violate anything related to KKK? So yes, they do need to change that. It sounds so weird. But it sounds like Don Cuomo is also a sore loser. Like, is this going to make him, stand out? Yes, it is. It is going to make him some money. Yes. Is that good or bad? Making money is always good. Right? I mean, when it's done legally. Oh, Demon Dictator said he's just jumping on the hate bandwagon and reflecting from his own controversy. I could see that too. I could definitely see that he's doing that. Yes, makes perfect sense. I'm having a bad hair day, guys. Yeah, I'm having a bad hair day. I'm having a bad hair moments and hair days. Yes, I'm having it. But yeah, I agree with you, Demon Dictator. I think that he is salty and upset that Don Lemon is being deemed as a hero, I should say, for standing up for what he believes in his freedom to speak. And Cuomo is seeing, why even comment on it if you don't have nothing good to say about it? Why comment at all? Because it does make him look a little, he needs to reflect.
case that seems kind of fugazi, in my opinion. you can think what he did was wrong and that he pushed the boundaries too much and did things that aren't good practices. It doesn't make it a federal crime, let alone under the Ku Klux Klan Act. But I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it the way he did it, and I wouldn't have done it.
Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you if you would have done it or not. It wasn't your rodeo to decide. I wouldn't have done it. Just like Demon Dictator said, you got your own scrutiny and own things you need to reflect under while you're trying to reflect on somebody else's situation and sounding like you're for them picking him up. Now, if you were in that situation, you would feel the same way Don Lemon is feeling, because it could easily happen to you. Talking about, no, I wouldn't have went in. How do you know what you would have done? You wasn't there. You didn't have a moment. You didn't get up and go to Minnesota. Don Lemon did. Would I would have done it? No.
But I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't
have done it.
Have done it the way he did it, and I wouldn't have done it for the reasons he did it. And
I wouldn't have done it for the reasons he did it. Oh, the reason why he was doing it is he was reporting on protesters in a church. He was getting the story, and sometimes the story has you in places that are dangerous, that you don't supposed to probably be in because it's not good for your health. But to say where you wouldn't have been and where you cannot be is, I find, a foul. I call it a foul, because you go where the story go. You don't say, oh, the story's in there, I can't go in there, oopsie daisy. Whatever happens in there, I won't get to see it because the story's in there. That's what journalists do. Yep, this is fishy, Payne. Very, 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 very fishy. I wouldn't have went. It wouldn't have been me. You go where the story goes. You don't stop at the door and be like, ooh, I can't go in because it's this. I can't go in because they're doing that. I can't go in because that's happening. I can't go in because there's bullets flying everywhere. I can't go in because I could get shot. I can't go in because the water's too cold. No. The journalist goes where the story goes. And that's what Don Lemon did. He went to get the story, and he got the story. And now some agents and some people in the White House think that he shouldn't have been in there, which he was well within his rights to be. He was on the front lines. And now Cuomo talking about what he wouldn't have done.
It's my choice. And it would also be the choice of my employer. But even if I were there just with the Chris Cuomo podcast, the Chris Cuomo Project, or for Sirius XM, or for News Nation, I don't think they would have let me do it. And I don't think I would have done it.
No. Let's clarify something.
I don't know if I would have done it. I don't know if I would have done it if I had done it on behalf of my employer, or if I had done da. You don't know what the hell you would have done, Cuomo. You don't know what you would have done if you were trying to get the story. You're not even making sense. Now I've lost respect for Cuomo because he's not even making sense. Hello, Diane. Fishy, Payne. Very, very fishy. Let me drop the link, Demon Dictator, just in case. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. No one asked you. You wasn't there. This is not about you. It's about your used to be friend, the one you're throwing under the bus. I really do see that. I see a kick thrown under the bus, a kick, throw under the bus. Pew, 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 pew. I wouldn't have done it. How many times are you going to tell us?
Choice of my employer. But even if I were there just with the Chris Cuomo podcast, the Chris Cuomo
He's
project,
lying.
or for Sirius XM or for News Nation, I don't think they would have let me do it. And I don't think I would have done it.
No. Let's clarify something. You don't have the heart to do it.
Oh.
You don't have the heart. That's what it's really about, Chris. It's not whether or not, oh, well, if it was.
AT2 said you don't have the heart to do it. It's the heart. I like that.
Me, I wouldn't have done it because I know this and that. Yeah, it's easy to say that now or when you're not there covering the news on the street.
Exactly. Normally, CNN would have them on the front lines of Minnesota filming. Now he's like, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done anything like that. Like, that's against my morals. Cuomo sounds like an idiot. I've lost some respect for Cuomo because of his explanation and his reasoning. It's not cutting it, Cuomo.
It's easier to say that from a desk or when you have an employer, it's easy for you to say that. But in the moment, would you have been brave enough to do that?
No.
Would you have gone in there to cover the news?
Exactly.
Probably you would have, because again, this seems like you have been jealous of Don Lemon because despite him also being fired from CNN, Don Lemon got over 1 million subscribers. His channel is wildly successful and it grew so quickly. Oh, and also despite him having to end his contract with Elon Musk before it even began, let's not forget that.
Oh, wow.
It's so crazy. This is all about jealousy. He has been jealous of Don Lemon.
I told you, jealousy. We don't need no jealousy. Jealousy. We don't need no jealousy. It is jealousy that's coming from Cuomo. The story took Don Lemon into a church. Therefore, that's where Don Lemon was there to report. Exactly. And Mr., you can have your thoughts about Don Lemon. I don't believe that he is that person, but you're entitled to your opinion. Jealousy. This is pure, unadulterated jealousy that's coming from Cuomo. I see it. It's envy and jealousy because this moment in time really put Don Lemon on the map. If you didn't know who he was before, you definitely know who he is now. He is the man that got arrested for reporting on a story in Minnesota about an ICE agent being in the pastor of a church. And Cuomo is jealous. Cuomo is jealous of Don Lemon's newfound fame. Talking about what he wouldn't have done. Nobody asked you. Oh, I wouldn't have done that. It is a public place. It is not a private place. Churches are public. You do. I know. I used to like them together, but it sounds like they're not friends anymore, unfortunately. Especially after this little tidbit that Chris Cuomo has finally confirmed in my book that he doesn't like Don Lemon anymore, and I think it's jealousy. Because whether you think it's right or wrong, he is a journalist, and journalists go where the job is. They don't stop and think, oh, can I go in? Is this the Capitol? I can't go in the Capitol and record, like AT2 said. So it's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Can you record in the Capitol? I'm not sure. I don't know the rules and regulations in the Capitol, but I'm sure if there's a story to be told in the Capitol, you can record. They're always having what you call that? The press is everywhere. Now we're becoming our own little press because we have our phones and we're recording things. Like Alex and Karen's situation. We were able to record it and see it for ourselves and make profound a decision on what we saw instead of people telling us what we saw. Exactly, mister. It's a public place. Let's get back to Cuomo being jealous of Don Lemon.
Myself that way, and I think that's why there was no other real media there with this. But 90% conviction rate. Most people plead guilty because they're afraid of what happens if they go to trial against the federal government.
It's almost like he is predicting it. Like, oh, so Don Lemon should plead guilty? Is that what you're saying? He's not going to plead guilty. You know he's going to fight it. Listen to him. He sounds like a jealous boyfriend.
With this, but 90% conviction rate. Most people plead guilty because they're afraid of what happens.
90% conviction rate. People plead guilty because they're afraid of the federal government. What are you trying to say, Cuomo? Are you trying to say that Don Lemon is going to be afraid of the federal government? He shouldn't. Nobody is above the law. Not even the federal government. They're not above the law. He needs to have his day in court.
Happens if they go to trial against the federal government. That's scary. And I don't like to see people in scary situations, especially when it's not just Don Lemon. It's about how we protect the press or choose not to, and when we do one or the other. Those are really scary questions. But no, I'm not happy about seeing Don Lemon in a bad way.
Oh,
And
you
it doesn't
don't
matter to
care.
me if he would feel the same way about me. That's not how I live my life. And I
No,
would suggest
he would have supported this. He would have said that you had. I know Don Lemon would have supported Chris Cuomo. If he didn't have anything nice to say about Cuomo, I don't think he would have said it at all. But I don't believe that if Cuomo was in this situation, that Don Lemon would say the things that he has said. Totally different situation.
no one should.
Why does the Trump administration get to say that Georgia Fort isn't a journalist? Who? Exactly. She was arrested too. Oh, but what about Don Lemon? That's my whole concern. I don't think they can make the case against Don. But Georgia Fort is my concern. Meaning what? Who gets to say whether or not you're a journalist? Why does the administration get to say it?
She is a journalist. Georgia Fort, she's a journalist. She has even won awards for her journalism. So when he goes, Georgia Fort, who? Bitch, don't try it. Let's continue.
They arrested her too. This is the slippery slope I'm worried about. It's not as simple as, do you like what Don did or didn't do? His choices doing the job are one thing. His ability to do the job, to have that freedom, is something very different. Georgia Fort is my concern. I think Don's going to be fine. I don't think they can make the case. I think Trump made him a bigger star than he ever was. Georgia Fort is slippery slope. Who's next? On whose call and what standard? That's what you need to pay attention to, not just how you feel about Don.
Just got off the phone, and I got a very special guest tonight who's going to give us some new information into what this arrest of Don Lemon and Georgia Fort, who exactly wasn't just Don, was another person that this administration is deciding isn't a journalist.
I can give you guys the spoiler alert. He had Nakima, the woman who actually organized the protest. She's a civil rights attorney. And she was on there, and she did exonerate Don Lemon and Georgia Fort. And again, him being straight like, Georgia, who? You ain't got to say all that. Mind you, I didn't know who Georgia was until, a couple of days ago after the arrest. But again, I'm not going to disrespect her like who, because I don't know who she is. Obviously, she was there. She was a journalist, and she was doing her job. Independent journalists are a thing, Chris. I know that you wanted to go with the whole network because basically you can't stand on your own 2 feet and you can't stand on your own. This is what this really is about. Because if Chris Cuomo had the chance, he would be in, trust me. But he can't do the work. And he doesn't want to do the work. His thing is the whole playing both sides thing. This is why he's having this conversation. He's doing the whole both sides and stuff, trying to make it seem like he's just being a journalist, but really he's throwing digs at Don Lemon because he's still mad and salty. He's still upset because, mind you, Don Lemon got his money with his lawsuit, but Chris Cuomo, nah, he didn't. Well, let me be clear. They're still going through litigation with that. So again, I think 1, because Don Lemon is wildly successful. 2, because he was able to sue and get his money. And 3, Chris Cuomo, no one cares about him. He's not relevant anymore.
He's not.
And I think people were so much holding on to that old camaraderie that him.
It's like, I think Cuomo has decided to do something totally different. And so I don't really follow Cuomo as much as I was following Don Lemon. And but I know because he's in my algorithm, Don Lemon. But I agree with AT2 on this, that they used to have this chemistry, and with that chemistry, that's what made them good together. But you don't hear about Chris Cuomo that much anymore. No one's following Chris. We don't watch Chris over here as much as this is our first time seeing Chris Cuomo on my screen.
Him and Don had, and didn't realize like he's been throwing shots because again, if you're not really on the internet like that, even if you are on the internet, you don't really see Chris Cuomo. He's not on TV no more, so it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. But Now people are waking up and being like, oh, wait, hold on. This ain't the same Chris that I thought he was. After he said, oh, you guys are treating Kamala Harris like Black Jesus, I knew what time it was. And I was like, all right. Yeah, this ain't the same Chris Cuomo that we used to know. This is definitely that asshole that's always been inside of him. I don't think this is a change.
Wow.
I think this is who he really is. And now that he's not on network TV, he can be the person that he wants to be, or on cable, I should say.
Yeah,
but again, Don Lemon did not do anything wrong. He was a journalist covering what was going on. The media always covers crimes. Like, can we like be honest about that? And I don't even want to say what the protesters did was a crime, because do I agree with their messaging? Yes. Was it the right thing to do? I don't know. That's up for the courts. But I do believe in, like, hey, you got this guy talking about, you know, when you're a pastor, you're supposed to be Christ-like. And if you're not living by that, and you're over here fooling and tricking the people and making it seem like you care about everyone when you obviously don't, and you have no morals and values, yeah, it should be called out. I don't care. But again, this is why I love my show, because you guys can disagree. So please let me know in the chat what you guys think, as well as this Chris Cuomo video, Don Lemon's arrest, Georgia Fort, the protesters. Let me know about it all. And please do not forget that we have a meetup coming in April 10th through the 12th in Vegas. Can't wait to see you guys. We're out of here. Deuces, everybody. Much love.
I like his little intro and outro music. What do you guys think overall? Do you have an opinion? I would love to know you guys' opinion, especially those that are not here today. I would like you guys to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon's relationship. What do you think about the whole going up into the church and protesting, being the press in the church? And what do you think about Cuomo? Is Cuomo jealous of Don Lemon? Why would he comment about it at all if he didn't have anything constructive to say about it? Because he almost made Don Lemon out to be guilty. Thank you, Paint. You're such a sweetheart. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to move on to Meghan did what? Okay, Meghan did what? Oh, this is just so some of you that didn't see it yesterday. This is Don Lemon's ovation. So that happened. And okay, now we're going to breaking news. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get real diva on Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. This is so lame. So I don't know when this took place. Here's the receipts on that, sugar baby. Yeah. Oh, I tried to go look it up. Let me see if I can look it up. Buckingham Palace, man naked. Oh, I guess this is it right here.
Du kolla. Är han naken?
Oh, he fell. This is a man on here. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see. This man is hanging the Buckingham Palace window with no clothes on, so trigger warning. You think it's fake? Demon Dictator says she thinks it's fake.
Du kolla. Är han naken? Så. Det här är inte. Så. Så. Så.
Well, I don't know all the details of the naked man on the window. Okay. Let's get back. I want to show you something that Perez just did recently with Meghan and Harry. Now, I don't know what this is, but we're about to find out.
Good. This is good. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and over the week,
I knew.
oh, this is good. This is good. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and over the weekend, I told you all about Kris Jenner's A-list 70th birthday party. It was held at the home of Amazon's Jeff Bezos. Everybody was there. I didn't even tell you this because I didn't find out until just yesterday. Beyonce even showed up to Kris Jenner's 70th. Oprah, Mariah Carey, Vin Diesel. The list was long. And Prince Harry and Meghan Markle drove a long while from Montecito to Beverly Hills to go to her party.
Oh,
Or maybe they took a helicopter. I don't know. However, things just took quite the turn. Both Kim and the momager posted pictures from Chris's party and have been sharing a lot of content. And they also shared images of the two of them with Harry and Meghan. Images which have just been deleted from their social media posts. We don't know why Kris and Kim deleted the pictures that they shared of themselves with Harry and Meghan, but we can speculate. I would love to hear your theories why. Let me know in the comments section. Oh, this is good. This is good. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer. And over the weekend, I told you all about Kris Jenner's A-list 70th birthday party. It was held at the home of Amazon's Jeff Bezos. Everybody was there. I didn't even tell you this because I didn't find out until just yesterday. Beyonce even showed up to Kris Jenner's 70th. Oprah, Mariah Carey, Vin Diesel. The list was long. And Prince Harry and Meghan Markle drove a long while from Montecito to Beverly Hills to go to her party. Or maybe they took a helicopter. I don't know. However, things just took quite the turn. Both Kim and the momager posted pictures from Chris's party and have been sharing a lot of content. And they also shared images of the two of them with Harry and Meghan. Images which have just been deleted from their social media posts. We don't know why Chris and Kim deleted the pictures that they shared of themselves with Harry and Meghan, but we can speculate. I would love to hear your theories why. Let me know in the comments section. Oh, this is good. This is good.
So excited.
Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer. And over the weekend, I told you all about Kris Jenner's A-list 70th birthday party. It was held at the home of Amazon's Jeff Bezos. Everybody was there. I didn't even tell you this because I didn't find out until just yesterday. Beyonce even showed up to Kris Jenner's 70th. Oprah, Mariah Carey, Vin Diesel.
Wow,
the list was
all the
long.
A-listers.
And Prince Harry and Meghan Markle drove a long while from Montecito to Beverly Hills to go to her party.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe they took a helicopter. I don't know. However, things just took quite the turn. Both Kim and the momager posted pictures from Chris's party and have been sharing a lot of content. And they also shared images of the two of them with Harry and Meghan. Images which have just been deleted from their social media posts. We don't know why Chris and Kim deleted the pictures that they shared of themselves with Harry and Meghan, but we can speculate. I would love to hear your theories why. Let me know in the comments section.
Oh.
I knew
Perez.
I knew.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
I love when he gets excited.
To have those pictures disappear without explanation.
We did.
The photos were taken down and fans started speculating, but now we are hearing answers and explanation directly from Kim. Kardashian was on her sister's podcast, Chloe in Wonderland, where she revealed the truth. With regards to Photogate,
Okay, there's a lot going on. That was 5 days ago. Okay, here guys, I have
Artem because she isn't star material. Bella and Gigi Hadid's little brother Anwar once dated Nicola, and she.
Okay, wow, let's go here. Well, guys, we've been doing this for an hour. We can shut it down and come back again tomorrow, or I can show you what's going on in entertainment news. Now, I could talk about Meghan and Harry's relationship as far as him trying to leave her, but I just don't believe that. I don't believe that he's going anywhere. So I could do that, or I could do this, or we could shut it down. Let's see. Put a 1 in the chat for Meghan and Harry's relationship. Put a 2 in the chat for entertainment news. And a 3 in the chat Let's just regroup another day. I'm going to put on a 30-second. Okay, Meghan so far. Relationship. Okay, so I have everything ready just in case, whatever you guys decide. Two, two, two. Two, two, two. Ooh, I got some twos. Let's do both. Let's go.
He manipulated him into isolating himself from his family, just like she's doing to her husband, Brooklyn Beckham. Selena Gomez used to be best friends with Nicola and Brooklyn until they had a massive falling out, and Selena Gomez refused to invite Nicola to her wedding. So is Nicola the problem here? Let's get into it.
Is Nicola the problem?
There has been a lot of drama within the Beckham family, and Victoria has been receiving a lot of heat. And I made a video talking about Victoria Beckham and how she's a controlling woman. And there's no doubt in my mind that she completely ruined her son Brooklyn Beckham's wedding. But today I want to focus a little bit on Nicola and where she comes from, because Nicola isn't as innocent as you may think. Nicola Peltz is from a very wealthy family. As we know, her dad or grandpa is worth like billions. So she's set for life. Her family is like worth triple what the Beckham family is worth. Before the Beckhams, she was with Anwar Hadid, which you may recognize that name because of Gigi and Bella, but also there's another sister, Alana Hadid. We don't really hear from her often.
Okay.
She actually described Nicola as fame hungry. There's also claims that Nicola made her ex Anwar disconnect from his family, similar to what Brooklyn has gone through. This source claims that whenever Nicola and Anwar were together, he began to disconnect from Gigi, Bella, and...
Are we finding another Meghan in the works? Is that what we're doing? Nicola? Nicola, are you a Meghan number 2?
their mother, Yolanda Hadid.
Trying to separate people from their family? This is the second family you've separated. First, it was the Hadids. And now it's the Beckhams. You got a track record of...
Quote, Nicola is basically every boy mom's nightmare,
You're
from
a
what I'm
nightmare,
gathering.
girlfriend.
Following their separation, Nicola unfollowed everyone in the Hadid family. It looks like it
Nightmare.
was not a civil breakup.
It was rumored that when Anwar dated
Not
Nicola, he stopped
civil.
talking to his family altogether. Yolanda Hadid, who's Anwar's mother, actually allegedly called Victoria and said, "You have to watch out." And although that was all speculative, up until this point, Alana has kind of confirmed the family's thoughts about Nicola.
I love how Alana Hadid, the Hadid sister we never really hear about, just comes out of nowhere. She took to Instagram after Brooklyn wrote out his statement about his family. Remember all of those different stories that really started this conversation? Well, this person wrote on social media, this random person, ending an 8-paragraph rant about his family's dirty laundry with, "All we want is privacy is all I need to know." This is when Alana Hadid chimes in, writing, "Right? And that girl doesn't want privacy. She's been trying to be famous for a decade." Well, Alana is not lying. It does look like Nicola's tried to become a star for a long time. I mean, she has so much money, so much privilege. She knows all the
That's
right people, but
Meghan has so much privilege. I don't know how much money she has, but she's got all this stuff and she's still not happy. She wants to be an A-lister. It's something about being an A-lister. I guess that's the highest level you can reach in Hollywood. And until you reach that level, you're not with the it crowd. Well, Meghan's reached that, and reached it in a way that is not, she's not an A-lister. She'll always be a D-lister. What I'm saying is, no matter if you hang around with them or not, that does not make you an A-lister. Just because you hang around them, Meghan, doesn't make you one. That's what I'm trying to say. She may hang out with them and run around with them and try to be connected with them some kind of way, somehow. It doesn't work out for her in the end. Wouldn't we call her one of those, what they would call clout chasers? Meghan's a clout chaser. Just like this rich, spoiled Nicola. Is it Nicola? Moving on.
If you're not a star, people aren't going to latch on.
There it is.
So this girl right here, despite having...
If you're not a star, people are not going to latch on. Meghan is not a star. People aren't latching on. They're not latching on. You're not a star. You're not being latched onto. Just because you made some scam-a-jam doesn't mean that people are latching onto you. What they're doing is running. I wouldn't want to be associated with Meghan. I wouldn't. She would not be someone that I would be trying to help promote my, well, I say that, and I would have her because a little publicity is better than none. But not a big brand like Netflix. Netflix has said, skadoodle, oopsie daisy, get out. It's over. The relationship is over. Did you hear the rumor that she was trying to pitch a Valentine's Day as ever moment? Love with Meghan. A Valentine's Day one. Anyway, moving on.
Having a dad who's a multi-billionaire has not managed to make it work in Hollywood. Her name is Nicola Peltz, and she's tried Avatar: The Last Airbender, she's tried Transformers, she's tried Bates Motel. Nothing has worked for her, and now just to make things worse, she's really hating her in-laws Victoria and David Beckham, so I'm just wondering what the hell ruined her. The reason Nicola was able to break into the entertainment space was her mom, Claudia, where Claudia was always interested in the idea of her children pursuing entertainment, and because of the massive financial resources they had, it was very easy for them to get a big break. The only problem is just because you can get somebody to give you a big break doesn't mean that big break is going to actually be successful, where Nicola Peltz has this history of picking god-awful projects, where her first movie ever was Deck the Halls, a Christmas movie, and that failed, making only $47 million on a budget of $51 million, meaning it lost about $25–30 million. That was not close to as bad as her first starring role in a movie playing Katara in the failed Last Airbender movie that M. Night Shyamalan did, where not only was that a financial failure, not only was that a critical failure, but she should have never gotten that part in the first place because, let's face it, that was a massive whitewash. I'm saying this as somebody who's not a very PC guy.
It's interesting that Claudia wanted this star daughter, and she wanted to put out at least one of her children out there to go and make them into this celebrity. But when they tried, it just didn't quite land. This headline reads, Brooklyn Beckham's wife, Nicola, branded worst of worse, and quote, actually a monster, end quote. Years before her nasty feud with the Beckhams, it looks like Nicola earned herself a reputation of being a real-life Regina George. Bella Thorne may have claimed that she was very, very mean, a girl who rubs it in your face that she's a billionaire. That was all the way back in 2015 when Bella said that. In 2019, this celebrity hairstylist, Justin Anderson, who's worked with a bunch of people, Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Aniston, Katy Perry, had something to say about Nicola. I remember this one time, the worst of the worst of the worst was this one little diva. I'm going to get in trouble. She was the new Transformers girl. Her name is Nicola Peltz. She is from a very wealthy family. She was supposed to be the new it girl, but disappeared now. She's actually a monster. He added that it's so small in this town that if you're an a-hole to people, they don't want to work with you. People who are really rude at the beginning, who think I'm in this movie now, I'm going to be this huge star, and they start having an attitude attitude. No one wants to work with that shit. Nicola actually responded to this hairstylist. I think this says a lot about her. She claims the hairdresser actually burnt her hair off while bleaching it for the press tour, and he caused her hair to fall out in the sink. Interesting that that is her rebuttal to everything. Justin's friends dispute this version of events, saying Nicola knows that's not the truth of what happened that day. She doesn't want to open up that can of worms. Justin, that hairstylist, says he can't even imagine what it'd be like to have Nicola as a daughter-in-law. He feels very bad for the Beckhams, caught up in everything. Justin made his initial statement, his story time, back in 2019. So he.
Can you imagine having a daughter-in-law from hell? Can you imagine having Meghan as your daughter-in-law? Can you just imagine, just think? Oh, that would be a horrible moment for everyone. Like, poor Queen Elizabeth had to deal with Meghan those few years. Oh.
Went on to say recently that he is standing 10 toes down on what he said in the past, that she's not nice, and I could say it with my full chest.
Wow.
Not good energy.
Justin Anderson is a celebrity hairstylist who worked with Nicola quite a few years ago, but he has been posting on his Instagram story, history is repeating itself, to this article, where allegedly Yolanda reached out to Victoria Beckham. They might be friends, I don't know, but Yolanda's son Anwar used to date Nicola. When Nicola and Anwar dated for a couple of years, Yolanda was concerned about their age gap because she's 4 years older than him. And there was some narrative at the time that Nicola made Anwar not talk to his family. But Justin, the former hairstylist, he went on to continue calling out Nicola, saying that something was weird with the wedding dress story, saying that Victoria did not cancel making the dress in the 11th hour.
One person said, based on how many wedding planners that she went through, I think that she's the issue. Actually, Nicola's father, Nelson, filed a lawsuit against 2 of the couple's wedding planners who were hired 6 weeks before.
The wedding planners. She's a menace to society. Guys, she's on our new radar of Meghan-ness, okay? Now, I don't know if she's quite as bad as Meghan because she hasn't sat down and did a whole 2 or 3 hour live on racism and how the family didn't like her. So that's not happening. But let's keep an eye on her, because she seems like she's going to be a problem for the Beckhams. And now that she's a son-in-law, a daughter-in-law. But here's the kicker. Wait till the kids come. You would think that kids would change a mother's spoilness. Because now you have to put that into the baby. Oh, the dead eyes. Yep, she doesn't look like she really loves this guy. I'm not seeing that. I don't see the twinkle twinkle.
For the wedding and let go 9 days later. To give you guys some context on this lawsuit with these wedding planners, because honestly, this wedding sounds like the wedding from actual hell. Between the dress that Victoria Beckham was going to make, the first dance, the lawsuits, Nicola's father Nelson sued the wedding planners, Nicole and Ariana, claiming they misrepresented their abilities and did not return the $159K deposit after being fired. The planners countersued for breach of contract and leaked WhatsApp messages to the tabloids used to paint Nicola and her family as being unreasonable. Nelson actually considered canceling the entire wedding over the chaos. Claudia, Nicola's mother, supposedly argued that canceling would ruin Nicola's career. And it seems like this wedding for Claudia and Nicola and her entire family, it was a way to brand Nicola as this big star because they've been trying for so long. She's gotten some really big gigs, but maybe this wedding would make her A-list, which is what they dream of. If Nicola is such a terrible person, then who could be friends with Nicola, right? She sounds awful.
does. She has
Well,
bad
Selena
eyes.
Gomez was very, very close to Nicola and Brooklyn, but
Seeing that-
Brooklyn and Nicola were not at Selena's wedding, which is fascinating to me because they described themselves as like a throuple. They were constantly hanging out together. Her and Nicola had matching tattoos. Selena first became friends with Nicola and Brooklyn after they connected at a gala back in October 2022. And by January 2023, Selena has deemed herself the pair's favorite +1. Nicola said that Selena is my soul sister. I love her so much. She's truly one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole life. The kindest person ever. Truly, her heart is gold. I feel like I've known her forever. They even got matching angel tattoos, which is quite the commitment. It almost sounds like they had a little like lesbian love affair. As of May 2025, a source claimed that Selena and Nicola were close, saying that Selena had been talking to Nicola about her upcoming wedding and getting Nicola's advice, which is interesting because you're asking your bestie for advice on your wedding, yet they're not even at the wedding. And some of these pictures are just a little bit odd. They really did act very close with each other. So what could have gone wrong, like to where they wouldn't be at the wedding, and Selena did not go to Nicola and Brooklyn's renewal? Yes, their perfect wedding that was supposed to be like, you know, Claudia's chance to make her daughter a star ended up being followed up with a renewal because Victoria Beckham ruined it. Maybe Benny kicked some sense into Selena Gomez because once they got together, it looks like Selena became tired of Nicola's diva ways. Supposedly, Nicola and Brooklyn skipped Selena's wedding because the couple and the singer are not as close as they once were. I don't know what that means. Are they trying to say they were invited and skipped? Which I'm definitely not buying. I would love to know Selena Gomez's side of this fallout, like what Nicola had done, what she had said, maybe what she had realized, and then she got out of that throuple. And maybe it was Benny who actually saved the day on that one. But Brooklyn's like Instagram posts, this whole thing that he had caused with his family, exposing them, talking about his wedding day, it actually looks like he and Nicola couldn't be happier with the response that they've received after they've called out their Brooklyn's parents, David and Victoria. Quote, they told us, we're glad we did it, as a close source told The Sun. They feel like a massive weight has been lifted off them, and they're pleased with the support they've received. It's been therapeutic for them to finally get things off their chests, which they've been bottling up for years. This has just made things even clearer to Brooklyn that he wants nothing more to do with his parents. A source close to Nicola rejected the claim that she had been controlling her husband. We are at this point because Nicola, an outsider coming into the Beckham family, has been able to help Brooklyn to see the emotional abuse and toxic behavior within his family, and that it's not healthy and it's not normal and it's not okay. But a source close to the Beckhams lashed out at the claims and said that it's a deeply unpleasant attack.
Who does that
it doesn't
sound like? That sounds like Meghan. You know, it's are you getting those Meghan vibes? Like their relationship, his relationship with his family isn't the same, and he's been speaking out lately that his family doesn't like his new wife. I wonder why.
Even warrant a response. It's so ludicrous and patently untrue. So maybe Nicola's maybe he has gone through an abusive household with like Victoria and David. Maybe Nicola is making him believe these things. She sounds a little bit out there, you know.
Don't believe that Victoria Beckham danced on her son so inappropriately that he felt he had to post 4 Instagram stories about it years later, okay? I do, however, believe that an old money conservative family like the Nelson Peltz family kind of brainwashed him into thinking that his mom is raunchy and inappropriate and made him really uncomfortable with her kind of free spirit and fun dancing. That is something I do believe, and I do not believe that Victoria Beckham was grinding on her son or doing anything of that sort. I just don't believe it. I think Nicola and her family are brainwashing Brooklyn, and free Brooklyn.
Maybe this is a hard day.
Oh, wow. Free Brooklyn. Now we're freeing people. Oh, wow. Free Brooklyn.
fake, but I kind of agree. It was his wife that felt all those ways, not Brooklyn. One person wrote on X that Brooklyn wasn't the same ever since he married Nicola. She manipulated and brainwashed him. Hear me out. What if the Peltz family made him do this to prove his loyalty to the family so he can finally be accepted? Because last I checked, Mr. Peltz wasn't happy that his little monster of a princess fell in love with Brooklyn. He called him a
Looks like the
talentless
mom has gotten some work done. Why don't they leave their faces alone? That's what it sounds like, Lulu. Sounds like she's jealous of the relationship that Brooklyn has with his mother, which is so pathetic.
disappointment. Nicola wrote that Instagram post. I just can't prove it, this person writes. And actually, that's a blind item going around. One of our favorite TikTokers out there, Celebrity Blinds, covered this.
Nicola Peltz is allegedly the one who wrote that entire Instagram statement for Brooklyn Beckham. She wrote that the Beckhams have been trying to control Brooklyn and had also ruined her wedding in multiple ways. And the blind item reads, hopefully, the actress's fingers didn't get worn out typing that very long statement that's allegedly from her cuck of a husband.
Nelson seems like kind of a scary guy. That's Nicola's father. And honestly, Claudia seems scary too. I mean, when you are that wealthy and that messy, you just...
When you're that wealthy and then you're that like messy, like... It's weird to see this spoiled little brat talk about things of her wedding that was negative, but not positive. That usually when someone gets married to someone, you forget all the little imperfections that you coulda, shoulda, wanted to have at your wedding. Or because something's going to go wrong. That always does. Like my music didn't quite come across like I wanted it to. I do remember it. Hello, Don. But what I'm trying to say is that you're not sitting there getting mad at your mother-in-law for dancing with her son. It's kind of like childish. Like, how dare you mention that? Like, why are you jealous of your husband and his mother that you're not being put first? It's really nasty. For some reason, I don't see this relationship lasting. She just doesn't seem like the type that would stay in a relationship. So she's going to give him hell.
Just like you can't be stopped, right? It's just like chaos all the time. And it actually turns out that Nelson might have some interesting friendships. This comment pointed out that let it be known that Nelson Peltz has ties to Epstein. And there's actually a video that talks about this connection between the two.
Oh, wow. 2003. Okay. Nicola Peltz's father, Nelson, tried to buy New York Magazine. Okay. With Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. No. I found this in a court document. He is also the person who introduced Donald Trump to Elon Musk.
What have you been up to? You have connections with Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and Donald Trump.
One comment said that the Peltz family is sinister. Now, if you're curious to what actually happened at this wedding, the DJ actually spoke out about what he had witnessed. He did an interview and pretty much confirmed some of the things that Brooklyn had said.
Why? Did you hear that? Did you hear what you didn't hear? You heard these ladies talking about the president, the guy from the island, and Nicola's father, and how they all are intertwined with each other. And then at the end of the conversation, it was like, this isn't good. Why are we sweeping under the rug the possibility of our president doing something very nefarious on the island? Why are we skipping over the files or skipping over the wording or skipping over things? I heard that 3,200 times his name was mentioned in this recent upload. That's what I heard.
So maybe it's not really like brainwash, but let's take a look together.
Why I said it was inappropriate as well was because at the time, it was the timing. Mark Antony was performing on stage. He then called Brooklyn onto stage. Brooklyn went onto the stage where the next minute everyone's expecting it to be Nicola to go up and do the first dance. And then Mark Antony asks the most beautifulest woman in the room to come to the stage. And then he says, Victoria, come to the stage. So Victoria's by the stage, she goes onto the stage. And of course, at that point, Brooklyn's like suddenly literally devastated because he thought he was going to do his first dance with his wife.
Right.
Then Nick.
Why is she devastated? Because she didn't get to do the first piece of cake, the first dance, I thought it was daughter and father dance. And then the couple. I don't think I would have reacted the way she reacted. Not that anybody was looking for my opinion. Just kidding. You do want my opinion. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would be running out crying and all upset about it. I think I would have been touched the fact that my husband was dancing with his mother. Yeah. My husband is not a very good dancer. He's good. He's good slow dancer. He's a good slow dancer. Let's just put it that way. Oh, Lou says Nicola already had her first dance. The dance with Victoria was at 11 p.m. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think she is in it. Hi, Victoria's voice. Hello, it's so good to see you. Hello, my friend. Hey, guys, go check out Victoria's Voice. She has a wonderful platform, and she also talks about what's going on currently with the royal family, with the royals, or not just that, other topics as well. So go check out my girl Victoria's Voice. Letitia, I am sure Eric is a better dancer than Meghan and Harry. Okay, let's give it to Eric. Snowdrop, let's definitely give it to Eric.
Nicola leaves the room crying her eyes out. Brooklyn's
like a baby, like a 2-year-old, like a wham. Like she's not going to get her toy back. Weird aroma. Oh, wow. Good for her. I know Snowdrop, especially on the weekend. She's hot. Okay, Eric. Snowdrop says you can dance. I told her that your dancing is okay.
Yeah, it's
And she said that you can dance better than Harry, she said.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he'll take that.
I'll take that.
Well, they just got through doing the ballroom dance in the grass. So, but on his own, no. He was doing something. Remember that? With the I got this on replay. I better stop it. I need to stop it because if I keep playing it, she's gonna get oh, this is the most watched video of 2026. It's been on replay. Here he comes. There's Harry with his hands. Looking weird. Look at her down at the ground with her stomach open. Down to the ground with her legs open. Woo, woo, close it. Sure, look. Idiot. Look at the baby bump. Is that real or what? Wow. Okay, moving back. So she runs out of the room so upset and crying.
Stuck there on stage, and then they do this dance. And
so all hell is breaking loose because Nicola runs out of the room crying hysterically because her husband is dancing with his mother. So all hell is broken loose. Snowdrop, I need to get my black wig. I'll have to do it when I get my black wig. And then us turning and twisting. That's all we would do is turn and twist. Okay, I'll do my best, Snowdrop. I'll do my best. No, did you see how he explained it? No, they asked for the most beautiful woman to come up on the stage, and it was Victoria. And Victoria came up on the stage, and Nicola ran out in disbelief and in horror because she thought that she was going to be the one that goes up on the stage. But unfortunately, Victoria was the most beautiful woman at the time. Like he's trying to make his story sound like it's the worst thing that ever happened. And it's not. It's not the worst thing that ever happened.
And Mark Antony's like, go put your hands on your mother's hips. And it was a Latin, it's a Latin thing. And the whole situation was really awkward for everyone in the room.
I did see that there were some people online saying that they were Team Victoria, Team Nicola. Some people are also Team Mark Anthony. Like, don't drag him into this. He was just doing what he was told to do. But I want to hear what you guys think of Nicola. I did speak about how in a past video her family has been accused of really going through a lot of employees, like kind of being abusive towards nannies and butlers and maids around the houses. They'll fire them so quickly. The family sounds really tragic.
Yeah,
and she's got a lot of siblings, so maybe I need like a deep dive on their family. But let's see if you guys even like this video, because I'm sure there's some things like, Epstein ties, like there's some things I want to dig a little bit deeper into. But I want to hear what you guys think of this video. Do you think Nicola's the problem? Bye, guys.
Yes. Do you guys think Nicola is the problem? Okay, so we're going to move on to Meghan.
Towards the end of last year, Margot Robbie and her husband Tom had a serious talk about their marriage. It wasn't working between them, and with their son involved, they needed to either work it out or end it all. Margot Robbie has kept herself busy, especially in her new film with Jacob Elordi. Tom had to put up with Margot's hotel room being filled up with roses by Jacob and Margot's newfound codependency with Jacob Elordi. This love affair between Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi is pushing Margot's husband Tom away, and now they're headed straight for divorce. So let's get into it.
Margot Ruby, that's her name, Ruby, maybe getting a divorce. Watch you do, little. Yeah, I guess he could have not had said the most beautiful woman in the room or in the world. He could have just said, Victoria, let's have Victoria Beckham, his beautiful mom, to come up and have a dance with her son. He kind of could have put it that way. But Mark probably stirred some stuff up he shouldn't have stirred up. Demon dictator. Yeah, let's throw Mark under the bus. Or put Mark in there. Because he didn't help the situation. Okay, let's pick again. You want to find out about Ruby, or did we already find out that she's getting a divorce, maybe? And move on to Meghan and her relationship. Let's move on to the relationship.
Glue that holds them together. I do. But now I'm starting to understand too what is pulling them apart. And it's their fundamental disagreement on who these children are, what these children are going to be. Are the children's an extension of them? This is going to be the tension moving forward.
No.
What happens to little Archie?
No. Quit giving Harry duties. Harry doesn't have any duties. He doesn't have any say in anything. He doesn't have any authority when it comes to Meghan. It is just Meghan and her decisions. He just goes along with it. Like the dance, for example. That dance was Meghan's idea. The what other dance was that? The twerk it dance. That was Meghan's idea. All these are Meghan's ideas. Prince, he doesn't think of this kind of stuff, does he, demon dictator? Harry's not thinking about dancing in a hospital room and embarrassing himself. No, that is not his idea. He goes along with his wife's dumb ideas. Kara has homework. We need to do it when she gets home. She's had plenty of time to get it done. So, without further ado, we're going to do it when she gets home tonight. Can you imagine a kindergarten having homework? She does. She's got to look for the words that have O in it and the sentence have the name in it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Demon Dictator. Snowdrop wants to know, is there any news on Funky Dineva? Let me see. Okay. Shoot, I don't see Tamar anywhere. So no Funky Dineva news. And that's too bad. They're not talking about their lawsuit. Yeah, no news. The last to do. Okay, my cheating husband won't sign the divorce papers.
Been together for 14 years and married for 11 years. We have a 12-year-old daughter. He got caught cheating and his side chick confessed her love for him to me. She cried on the phone with me. They had unprotected sex, etc.
This is a letter to Funky Dineva. She is needing his help on a situation. And so he's reading it to us. This is what it says.
Dineva and the Funky Bunch. I'm 36 years old, and me and my husband have been together for 14 years and married for 11 years. We have a 12-year-old daughter. He got caught cheating and his side chick confessed her love for him to me. She cried on the phone with me. They had unprotected sex, etc. She is married with 4 kids. They both read the Bible together, praying about adultery and fornication. He tried to make her fill my void. I find out he subscribed to OnlyFans and he has dating apps. His mother and sister never liked me. They want him all for themselves. All I know is my husband and I wanted to fight for my family. Now I'm done and he won't sign the separation papers. I'm black like this and not like that. Help a girl out. Now ready, baby, because if you ready for some advice from the old lady sitting under the tree, let me tell you what you do. If ever you want a man to sign divorce papers and he is unwilling to sign the divorce papers, let me tell you what you do, daughter. You make his life hell. You make his life hell. Now, the first thing that you do, since you already got baby girl phone number and she cried on the phone to you, you need to go around her house and bam on her door. That's the first thing you need to do. Go around her house, bam on her door, have a conversation with her husband, and stir up all types of mess and confusion while her children there. Because I'm going to tell you what that's going to do. That's going to prompt her to call him and get on him. In addition to, you give her husband your husband's phone number. You make his life hell. Secondly, seeing it so that they all into the Bible, that suggests that they all into the church. The next thing you do, you carry your ass down there to the church, you stand up and you testify in front of the church, you embarrass his ass down to the ground. Make his life hell. Embarrass him down to the church. You find out where her ass go to church. Again, you go down there and you embarrass her ass too. And I'm going to tell you something. Because she is in love with him, the more difficult you make her life, the more difficult she gonna make his life. And the more difficult his life is from his side chick and from you and from his family that don't like you, he will run to sign those damn divorce papers. Again, daughter, what you do is make his life hell. You make it hell. You make it hell in the morning. You make it hell in the evening. You make it hell at night. You go out to his job, put notes on his car, Tell his co-workers. Tell anybody that will listen what this man is doing to you, and you expose her ass at the same damn time. Put it all on the Facebook. Put it all on the message boards. You keep calling and playing on her phone from...
Oh, this sounds like a very tricky situation. You're trying to move on with your life, but they won't sign the papers. And that just makes your life a living heckadoo. What are you gonna do? You can't really date. You can't move on with your life because you got some unfinished business over here. I don't know what the family didn't like me has to do with the letter, because he mentioned in the beginning that his family doesn't like her. They've always wanted to keep him to themselves. But if the relationship is over, it's over. And I think that is there something legal she can do to try to get him to sign it? Because she could have him served. She could have him served divorce papers, and then he'll kind of be forced to sign it. The only reason why things don't get signed right away is because you're trying to figure out the assets. You're trying to figure out, okay, who gets what gets what, what gets what. And then once you figure out what gets what, then you can decide, okay, this sounds good to me. Let's sign the papers. Ooh, I would never want to go through anything like that. No, I would try to work it out. Yeah, that would have been first. Like but all the praying together, that would have been hard. They're praying together. They're talking about fornication and stuff, but study doing it with each other. She's got 4 kids. Is she married? Is any of them kids his? Those are some good questions she probably need to ask too. But if the relationship is over, it really doesn't matter at this point. But it would be interesting to know if her daughter had any stepsisters. Let's finish up, see what Dineen was saying.
Any and every number you can find. You make her life hell. Matter of fact, you make her husband life hell as well. That just
sounds like a lot of work.
Baby, let me tell you one thing about me.
That just sounds like a lot of work. Making other people's lives hell. It just seems mean and spiteful and just, yeah, that would, even though I would want to, like, come on, sign the papers already, get it done. I think that I wouldn't be like vindictive or anything like that. I would just be trying to get it done to move on. Yes, to close that chapter. That would be a big thing. It's almost like she's uncertain. Did you guys get that? You poison your own mind doing things like that. Like what, Demon Dictator? Exactly. It's just a lot. You do poison your mind. It feels poisonous because you're trying to think of evil things to do to someone to get on their nerve. You're absolutely right, Demon Dictator. Now I know what you meant. Because I was like, your own mind, things like that. It does. It poisons you. It poisons your own mind thinking of ways to get back at someone. It's evil. Yeah, and I think that I would just be like, oh my goodness gracious. Hello, Lisa. Honestly, from experience, carrying around that hatred is not worth it. Believe me, I thought about making their lives hell, but I didn't to protect my peace. Exactly. Because you got to keep it up. It's not like something that you can just do once and then you're like, okay, I'm good. No, you're constantly trying to find ways to get on someone's nerve because they've done something to you that probably has been very bad, which cheating is very bad. And being in love with someone else. Oh, it's sad.
Me. Let me tell you one thing about me. I'm not going to be sitting somewhere mad and upset and crying by my damn self, okay? If I'm going to be somewhere sad and mad, every bitch involved going to be sad and mad at the same time. You go make his life hell. And I guarantee you, his ass will be running to sign them damn divorce papers. You make his life hell. Now, let me tell you something. You only go around the people's house once. Don't go around there too many times because that's how you'll get shot. But go around there and bam on her door around dinner time and go around there crying and carrying on. And what I want you to do is look at the Mary J. Blige, Your Child video. It's too bad. It's too bad. Too bad, baby. She said it's your child. Y'all know that song. Today you had a visitor. Or should I say, an old friend. You go around there and knock on her door. You go around there and knock on her door and tell her husband, tear her life up. You make her life miserable, make his life miserable, he will sign.
You know, people are waiting to hear news like that. Go over there and just make their lives miserable. Lisa says, for a while, I was always mad, always looking for a way of revenge. But I sat back, thought about it, and had to let it go. I always had a good support system, talking me off the bridge. Lisa, exactly. I did too. Like when I would get into relationships and they would end and I would be sad. I would be like, have a support group. Your support group is what helps you get through it. That was the Funky Dineva show. I hope you enjoyed that. You can subscribe to him, Funky Dineva. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. I guess we're coming to an end, my lovely people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. That was Funky Dineva with Snowdrop's idea, which was a lovely twist. Because I know we talk about Meghan, but I talked about her yesterday on how her dad is learning to walk again. And, you know, he's learning to walk again with a prosthetic leg. And his daughter has thrown him to the curb. And it's just amazing how she tries to make us fall in love with her or want us to like her or want us to, you know, think of her as a star or A-lister or respect her. And we don't. I don't respect her because of how she treats others. Yeah. And so I don't think, like with this last, let's go over here real quick before I go. I don't think that Harry has a whole bunch of say when it comes to Meghan and the kids. I think that that's not the case. He's not alpha in the family. She's alpha. And so she decides on which way or what they're going to do with the kids. Okay. Demon Dictator says the best revenge is to be happy and move forward with peace in your heart. It's tough, but it is the best. Mm-hmm. It is. It is tough. Mm-hmm. Because you're thinking, oh, it's the end of the world, especially at the time. But time heals it. I know with time it helped me. Time was my best friend. You know, and after a while, you just the memories start to fade. But it takes a minute because you're in it and you feel hurt, disappointed, upset, betrayed. You know, you feel you have all these feelings, and then you're feeling like, you know, you've done everything to keep the relationship. You know, you would never do anything like that to ruin the relationship. You're not the cheater in the family. You're not the one that messed up the sanctity of the marriage in the family. And then when you're not that person, it's just the person that did do it, the other sex. You're just like, we were supposed to grow old together. Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Meghan has control over everything. Yeah. Who's controlling who? And when they say stuff like this, I don't believe it. I have to tell Dan Wood, no, that's not true. It's not. That would mean that Harry's waking up and he's no longer seeing that Meghan is this conniving person. But he hasn't woken up and he doesn't see that. As a matter of fact, let's listen.
A little lily bit. I hear even less. I think 50,000 they'll turn up. I know they wanted, when 5 or 6 years ago, they wanted $1 million.
Things are not good between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I've obviously been reporting that for some time. But Radar Online now ripping the lid off what they describe.
It's the betrayal. It's the betrayal. It's the betrayal. But now looking back, I'm glad I stepped back. Good for you. Good for you. I think, like, if my husband was to cheat on me, remember Maggot was saying that I was cheating on my husband. Anyway, I would definitely get counseling for me and him to work through it because of my daughter. And Yeah, I would think it would be, unless they were in love with each other and then they told me, look, we are getting married and da 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 da, that would hurt. You didn't pick somebody over me. Hello. No, but do Harry give off the vibe that he's the man of the house? He doesn't give me that vibe. You know why? Because he let his wife talk him into leaving his hometown and never turning back. There's no relationship. He doesn't have a relationship with his country. Not like William has a relationship with his country.
As their most brutal fight yet, why it could finally end their marriage. And of course, it is this total discrepancy between.
It's not going to be about the kids. This is that stupid stuff. I don't care what an insider source has said. Meghan and Harry are not going to break up because of something about the kids. It's going to be finances. And it's going to be Meghan complaining about how she doesn't have it. And then Harry's going to be trying to give it to her, but he can't. Because if no more deals are coming in, they're going to have to live off of what they've made with the jam scam and Instagram. And you just heard the gentleman say that they went down in their pricing. It used to be $1 million to get Harry to do a speech. Now I think he said 50,000.
Between the unhappy couple in regards to how they treat their children and the commercialization of Archie and Lily specifically on social media. So we're going to get exclusive reaction from Rob Shooter of the Brilliant Shooter Scoop Substack imminently. But first, let me take you through this reporting. Even though it's in Radar Online, I think it is worth noting that Aaron Tinney is the reporter behind this. He is a UK-based tabloid veteran who is deeply sourced on this stuff. So he writes, Prince Harry is locked in what sources described as his most brutal fight yet with Meghan Markle over how much of their children's lives should be visible to the public. In a clash, friends have warned Radar Online could finally end their marriage if it remains unresolved. The dispute has intensified since December when the Duke and Duchess of Sussex confirmed they were renaming their organisation Archewell to Archewell Philanthropy.
That's that stupid stuff. This could end their marriage. It's just stupid. It's stupid. It's a slow news day, Dan Witten. Is it a slow news day for you to go by? Radar Online is good. It's a good news outlet, good articles from Radar Online, but I don't believe it. I don't believe the story. She's not going anywhere and he's not going anywhere because of this disagreement about how much to show of the kids, because eventually they're going to have to show them. They can't hide the kids forever. It's just not possible. But if they want to hide them till they turn 18, then so be it. But I don't think it's over because of a dispute that she had with Harry over the kids. That's that stupid stuff. That would have to mean that Harry's opinion count. And it don't. Not in this marriage. This is a one way, one marriage. This goes one way. And that is Meghan's way. It's the Meghan show.
And said the move would allow them and their children to expand their global charitable work as a family. An insider said the issue has become a recurring flashpoint. Now, what's interesting here, Aaron Tinney's got a couple of quotes. This first from a source close to the couple, who says, this is an issue where they are fundamentally pulling in different directions, and no matter how many times they think they have parked it, it resurfaces again. That is why it has become their most brutal fight yet. It strikes at their identities as parents and what they believe their children's lives should look like. If neither of them is willing to bend, people around them fear it could be the thing that finally breaks the marriage. The love they have for Archie and Lily is unquestionable, but the same love makes every conversation heavier, more emotional, and far harder to resolve. Then from another insider who says Harry's protectiveness is rooted very deeply in what he experienced growing up, and those scars are still raw for him.
So hiding the kids from society is the way to go, Harry? I'm just saying.
Carries a lot of unresolved anger, that's the understatement of the year, about how exposed and packaged his childhood felt. And that has always made him acutely sensitive to even the slightest hint of his own children being treated in a similar way. From his perspective, there is no middle ground on this. Shielding Archie and Lilibet from that world is not optional. It is a core responsibility. He believes he owes them that as a father. Aaron Tinney goes on in this really interesting report. In private, Harry is said to argue his children should be shielded entirely until they are old enough to choose for themselves. The source said if it was entirely up to him, the children would be kept almost completely out of view, with their lives unfolding privately until they are old enough to decide for themselves. Harry understands that total anonymity is unrealistic given who they are, but his default reaction is always to tighten the boundaries as much as possible. He is deeply opposed to the idea that Archie and Lily should inherit any sense of duty or expectation or pressure simply because of their birth, and he is determined to spare them that unseen burden. Meghan, by contrast, is described as more pragmatic. Yeah, that's for sure. She wants the money. Our insider added, Meghan is adamant that there is no carefully plotted agenda behind how the children appear. She sees it as wanting the flexibility to include them in everyday moments without it being framed as some calculated reveal. Harry was the driving force behind keeping their faces hidden online, but Meghan often counters that their royal cousins are openly present on social media and play a visible role in the broader royal image, which makes total concealment feel inconsistent and, in her view, unnecessary. The source went on, from Meghan's perspective, keeping their children almost entirely out of sight creates its own problems. She feels that acting as though Archie and Lily are invisible only invites more curiosity, gossip, and scrutiny from the outside world. She would prefer a carefully managed level of visibility, particularly as Archibald Philanthropies expands and becomes more family focused. How old are the kids again? Harry has not shifted from his position at all, and the standoff has sparked some very tense, emotionally charged discussions behind.
Did she say family focus? See, that's that stupid stuff. It's becoming more family focused. Archwell is. No, it's becoming more not family focused. If it was more family focused, you would have went and saw your dad or picked up the phone and called him or had a conversation about his amputee leg. But that ain't the case. But you're talking about family again. She wants things to be more family oriented. How? And you treat family like crap-a-doolittle. You and Nicola. Them some scary women that can keep you from your family. I know. It's the Mimi Show. Sunflower says they are not important. The Tyndalls and the Phillips children grew up without the public media attention, as did Edward and Andrew's children. See? Don Lemon and the Epstein files. I wanted to show you guys something really quick. Let me put it down. Put it down, put it down, put the phone down. All right, guys, enough about Meghan and her family-oriented Archwell situation. It's just full of crap-a-doodle. You don't know the first thing about family, the nerve.
And closed doors. Those close to the couple say the disagreements reflect deeper differences. Another insider, so a lot of people speaking here, at their core, they respond to challenges in completely different ways. Harry's reflex is to protect and pull inward, while Meghan's is to create, expand, and move forward. This disagreement is not an isolated flare-up. It keeps resurfacing in different forms. They are being cautious in how they handle it, but it remains one of the most difficult and unresolved issues in their marriage. And there is a real risk it could harden into a power struggle if neither side is willing to compromise. Well, the thing is, Rob Shooter, Harry has already compromised because Meghan is doing this. It's like come hell or high water, she is doing this. And I think he is losing the battle.
He always is going to lose the battle. This is not even a fight. This is a discussion that, oh, he wants this and she wants that. But honestly, I think that he wants whatever she wants, in all honesty. He's never spoke out against Meghan. He's never spoke out against something that she's done and made her accountable. Now it's a little petty fight. This is not even a fight. This is a conversation that's letting Harry know that soon and very soon we're going to be merching the kids a lot more. Who's next?
But it does make him look like an absolute fool. I mean, remember the podcast appearance last year when he said no people at all, no parents at all should be posting their children on social media. It's like, well, have you spoken to your wife? She's doing it already.
Yeah, you're right here. I'd argue that he is not losing a battle here. He's lost it.
Yes.
From day one.
Yes.
It has been Meghan's way or the
battle,
highway.
Eric.
He has...
Told you it wasn't no fight. Told you the situation wasn't what it seems. Yeah, I think I should change the title. And Harry get into a fight. Oh, I told you guys my StreamYard was due. I don't pay it monthly. I pay it yearly just to get it over with. And I was telling my husband how much it costs. He said, what? I said, yeah. I asked for permission though. I said, can I get it? Hi. Great. We're wrapping it up. We're doing a wrap-a-do. Oh, yes.
Being quite happy with that. And if they didn't have children, I don't think
doing
that
a
would change.
wrap-a-do-little.
About having children. I don't have children. Friends of mine do. And they do say it does change you fundamentally, maybe in a way that even a marriage or a wedding does not. And so Harry here looks at these two little kids and wonders about their future and wonders what's going to happen to them. And Meghan looks at these two little kids and wonders how fabulous their future can be for the whole family and part of the brand. It's a very Victoria Beckham way of looking at family, where I think Harry is more Mel C. He'd rather the kids be behind the scenes here. But this is the fundamental problem they have as a couple. They have a lot that they enjoy together. They're quite petty. The two of them like to have a good joke about people. They like to play the victims together. I understand the glue that holds them together. I do. But now I'm starting to understand too what is pulling them apart. And it's their fundamental disagreement on who these children are, what these children are going to be, are the children's an extension of them. And so I think here that story, Radar has got it spot on. This is going to be the tension moving forward. What happens to little Archie and little Lilybet?
The thing is, though, Rob, where I think Harry is a bit delusional is that he wants to return to the United Kingdom. He wants to have this half in, half out arrangement. He wants the children to take on a royal role. Then
he doesn't want no half in and half out. He doesn't want a half in and half out. Hold on. Oh, okay. There's two things I want to do. I got to do that. Okay. You in an hour and the Mimi song. I wonder how Sam is doing. Oh, thank you, Sam. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for it. Okay, here we go. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. All right, lovelies. Let's shut it on down. Let's bring it on down. Yeah, we already know Harry is not the strongest person of the bunch here. No. It's interesting how her hair looks. God, I'm starting to think, is those her kids? How can you have just both her kids got red hair? No black hair? It just looks kind of like suspect. Let's make the kids look like us, where they'll have red hair. Yeah, I don't know. Ain't no telling what these kids look like. No. Yep. Yep. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that made you relative was the fact that you were a royal. And now that you're not, there's no interest. You have nothing. What is next? You don't have the royal family. You don't have the connection. That's what made you interesting in the first place was the fact that you have became a royal. Now that you're not, now that she's not, what's next? Oh, well. It's because it's gone. A summit. 200? Oh, are them. At a summit. Privacy summit. Yep, is one said he's yep. Mm. No, Megan wrote it. Megan wrote Spare. We know that. You guys can't hear it? Auntie Mickey. No sound? Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. They're just talking? No? Oh, wow. Is that better? Still no sound? Auntie Mickey. No, nobody was gonna tell me. Okay, enough. They're talking about his charity and sorry about the no sound. All right, guys. We're out of here. Hi, Auntie Mickey. So good to see you. Okay. Anyway, they were talking about the charity and how he wasn't doing very good in the Santa Bala charity, and how Meghan got involved in that and messed that all the way up, and how he was blamed for misogyny, misogynoir, and and some other stuff that he was blamed for, and bullying and so on, and wanting what's her name? Forgot her name. Wanted her to write a note on behalf of Meghan saying that they were friends. So that's that on that. But I don't think that Meghan and Harry are having fights. And guess who's winning? Guess who's winning the fight? Okay. It's not really a discussion or a disagreement if it's going in one direction. No one's listening to the other. Well, Harry's listening to her, but she's not listening to him. She's not listening to Harry. Like, yes, completely silent. Yes. Well, lovely everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with your girl, Lady Letitia. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy the live. It's a lot going on. I played the Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon situation with AT2. We talked about Funky Dineva in that situation with the man that was cheating on her. And then we also watched Nicola, who is a spoiled brat and becoming a Meghan number 2. All she needs to do now is sit down and do interviews and tell us how everybody's mistreating her and it's everybody else's fault. That's what we're waiting on. And then we might have us 2 Megans. And what I am interesting to find out from Stallone and Perez is check into Meghan's background. Her background isn't that great. She is not, her fan base isn't big. Because you guys don't talk about that much. You just talk about current events that's going on with her. We talk about her as how she tried to divide the royal family and all the racism and all that other stupid stuff. And the Oprah Winfrey Show, remember? We did a video on that recently. That was really good. I haven't spoke to Julie yet. I haven't. I need to send her a lovely email. And let me see if I can send her a lovely email. Julie. Hello, lovely lady. Let me just let her know. Yeah, I would love to hear Julie's take on some of this, especially her father being in the Philippines, and I don't even know if I put a period at the end of that sentence. All right, lovely people. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys. This was fun. Mwah. Thank you. Great show as always. Thank you, Demon Dictator. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you guys so much for showing up. It really means a lot to me. And I thank you for hanging in there and hanging out. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, everyone. A wonderful Monday.